Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Shadow Dragon stage against Sin Shenron, and we're going to see just how we can beat it with no items in Dbz Dokkan Battle. Now obviously no item runs are not necessarily my thing. I don't make them a priority, but sometimes it's fun to do, and also around the anniversary I guess probably should post them earlier, do them straight away, etc. Everyone always goes, you should do no item runs, you're not good at the game. I don't care. I don't really like no item runs, mainly because I believe items should be used. They're in the game for a reason. You're not going to use support memories, which by the way have brilliant animations placed with them, and you're not going to use support items, then that's fine by me, but I don't really want to preach it like it's the utmost meta, because for some people using a Whis and managing to beat a stage that they've tried a dozen, 20, 30, 40 times is really cool, and I think people tend to take it away from them simply because no item runs exist. Now this is a no item run, and it's an item run of a pretty decently hard stage. What makes the Sin Shenron stage so hard is mainly the physical portion. So the big issue with the physical stage is that basically he throws out a very strong AoE attack. It's quite a strong normal AoE attack. It's very much like Broly's AoE super, except without it being like a 1.2 million powered AoE, it's like a 500k AoE powered normal. And there's a couple of tricks and tips you can use to kind of work around that. But before we get to that stage, let's chat a little bit about the team build. So we have obviously, or we're rocking a Battle of the Wit Superheroes cross team. We're running double Piccolo, and Piccolo's a good choice, but the 55% Piccolo, my Piccolo, is mainly going to be floating. The 100% the Rainbow Piccolo, he's going to be first slot tanking for the most part. Now Piccolo is useful in a lot of ways. You have like tons of usability for Piccolo, tons of viability for Piccolo, sorry. You've got the heal that he provides, you've got his damage reduction that he has. He's quite tanky when he's fully built up. A 55% Piccolo is going to take a decent chunk of damage from the super, like he will die to a super, like 100%. No doubt about it, he will 100% die. Now, if you are below 30% and you can trigger his heal, then with that 50% damage reduction you will not die. A Rainbow Piccolo, he's got a decent chance at surviving after super. Now Piccolo is tanky, but he's not good at face tanking supers without at least getting his super attack off, at least not at this level, at least not at 55%. So the Rainbow Piccolo is pretty good. You then have the Giant Form, which is going to be great for damage. And obviously we have the additional super attacks from there, and that's going to come in clutch later on, and you'll see that. Now in terms of the rest of the team, we've obviously got the Fraud Han, the unit that I've used for pretty much every no item run, Physical Ultimate Gohan, who again showcases why he's such a powerful unit. A shame that they don't have more beast animations for him, but he himself still really honestly does give justice to being such a really awesome card. He does huge damage for us. His active skill comes in clutch with the interrupt. His nullification comes in clutch twice. And yeah, just his damage is very crucial. Beginning of the event, he's very strong, helps us get through the int phase super quickly while also debuffing the opposition. And then he also, for the most part, does a really good job at being a defensive unit. He can take a little bit of chip damage during the AoE phase, especially if you don't have him rainbowed, or with full stats and everything, or his links. All in the family is crucial to his defense, and we can't really activate that. But yeah, he does great the whole way through. Super crucial unit, and outside of the Vegito and Gogeta duo, basically our biggest damage dealer, like by a country mile. Then we also have another unit that people have tended to turn on a little bit over the years. Well, I say over the years, but like recently for some reason. And that is the Vegeta and Trunks. They do their job perfectly well. face tanking pretty much the whole way through, being a super reliable first slot tank, and just basically being a really good cornerstone for our team. They build up their defense very quickly. They also obviously have that additional crit chance, which helps as well. And of course they also have a very strong ability to stack attack and defense, which is really helpful. We don't use their active skill, but it would come in handy because it boosts the rest of our allies' defense by 20%, and that would be very helpful, very helpful in terms of this event. So now if we talk about obviously the superheroes category and kind of finishing things off, we have two very strong units that just got their easy A's that make their appearance in no item runs, and that is the Strength Gogeta and the Tech Vegito. Now, yeah, honestly, these guys perform great. They are huge damage dealers for us, but there is kind of a conundrum that you have. So the big issue that you have with them is that you need them to transform into their blue state at the correct time. See, the big issue is ultimately at the end of the day that if we do not have them transform at the correct time, they won't be able to A, have their guaranteed evasion, which is very crucial to how well we do here, and B, what they won't have as well is they will fail to have built up their attack and defense. Because if you get them to transform near the end of the AGL phase and there's not enough health left on the boss for them to build up their attack and defense, then they can be a bit lackluster going into the physical Shin-Shenron phase. Ideally, you want one of them to transform at the beginning of the Shin-Shenron phase and the second one right after. If you can't do that, obviously the turn before and the turn after, much like you saw happen here. That's realistically the ideal situation, and the hope is that you can do enough damage in this turn, which we do manage to, courtesy of Ultimate Gohan and of course of Gogeta. But because of them, we managed to do enough damage to bring ourselves within the threshold that the giant form from Piccolo manages to bring us under the 50% threshold. And this is crucial because the 50% threshold with giant form Piccolo, it enables us to then use the active skill of Vegito, which enables him to have his evasion, which enables him to be a first slot tank, which is really honestly the big crucial bit of this. And obviously, as you can see, Gohan really bringing the damage as always, just managing to really chip down Shin-Shenron. So very, very nice team. Everything worked out great, and yeah, it all seemed to come together just to function well enough. So yeah, it is a challenging stage, and the AoE attacks are mainly what makes it challenging. A lot of units can't really build up the requisite defense to tank the AoE attacks well enough. Now the trick to avoiding some of these AoE attacks is if you actually use the giant form of Piccolo, then you actually can cancel the AoE attacks. For some reason, at least from my experience, it seems like if you use the giant form, the turn after the AoE attacks always tends to have none. I don't know if that's because of the giant form or what the effect is, but essentially it enabled us to cancel the AoE attacks, which you can see. I know the attacks change, but they don't generate any AoE attacks, and yeah, all of a sudden we were fine. Vegito came in with about 5 super attacks, doing some really good damage, building up his defense, but it didn't matter because he really pulled through with his dodge, dodging I think every single attack. I think he dodges every single attack, yep. Dodge, 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 dodge. Yeah, no, dodged every single attack. So very, very crucial from that perspective, I think overall. And honestly speaking, I think the team just did its job really well. I think between all the giant forms, the active skills, everything gets utilized to a really fine point, and we managed to secure the victory. We get to this turn, we have another load of active skills. We use Gogeta's one in the third slot because I contemplated putting him in the first slot. I really contemplated taking the gamble and just kind of wanting to finish it off in style. But then I thought, this is for a video. Why play it? Why not play it safe and just get the giant form off and finish him off with the cumulative super attacks? So yeah, it's definitely a pretty fun stage. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a very interesting team build. This is very different, I would say, to some of my other ones. Because even though it is a longer red zone, the AoE attacks really bring a different outlook to it in terms of like build. And also, Sin Shenron hits hard. He super attacks pretty hard. He's a pretty tough dealer. So yeah, it's definitely a rough stage, but it was a lot of fun to clear. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's a really fun stage. Highly suggest you try it. Obviously, we've done the missions, we've done the category missions. Now we're finishing the item run. I'm sure there's plenty of other things you can think of, but it's just a fun stage to run. Honestly, I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's up there with the red zone. I definitely find it challenging. I think it's you have more options now, so it may not feel as challenging, but it's definitely the same level of difficulty as the toughest red zone stages. So it's super duper fun stage, really tough. Bring your best team, bring your best units, link level, bring items, bring support items. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, as always, take care, stay safe, and thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, let me know what you want to do next. But outside of that, see you guys next time. Bye.